Have you ever felt that gentle nudge, or perhaps a not-so-gentle one, from a well-meaning family member, asking about your plans, your health, or even your bank account? It's a tricky balance, isn't it? We love our families deeply, but sometimes, the very people we cherish the most can, unintentionally, complicate our golden years. We want to be open, to share our lives. But there are some things, deeply personal aspects of our lives after 65 that are best kept just for us. This isn't about being deceptive or hiding something malicious. Absolutely not. This is about protecting your peace of mind, your independence, and your joy in this incredible chapter of life. It's about setting healthy boundaries, not building walls. It's about ensuring that your hard-earned wisdom and freedom aren't unintentionally eroded by well-meaning but sometimes overwhelming family involvement. In this video, we're going to explore 5 crucial personal areas, or what I call secrets, that you might find are better left unspoken with your family once you're over 65. These aren't just arbitrary points. They're based on countless experiences of older adults who've navigated the complexities of family dynamics, discovering what truly allows them to flourish. So, settle in, because what we're about to discuss could truly transform your relationships and your peace of mind. And make sure you watch right to the very end, because I promise there's something waiting for you that might just surprise you and change the way you think about family conversations. Let's dive right into the first area we need to consider keeping close to our chest. It's something that touches almost everyone, and it's often the root of so much unspoken tension: your precise financial details and how you choose to spend your money. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I want to be open with my children, my grandchildren. Transparency is key. And yes, in many areas of life, it certainly is. But when it comes to the exact figures in your bank account, the specifics of your investments, or even the details of your monthly spending habits, sharing too much can, ironically, create more problems than it solves. Think about it this way: when family members, especially adult children, know the precise extent of your wealth, it can inadvertently create expectations. They might start envisioning an inheritance, or perhaps they might see you as a ready source of funds for their own needs. This isn't necessarily coming from a place of greed. Sometimes it's just a natural human tendency to look for solutions to their own financial challenges. But it places an unfair burden on you. You've worked your entire life to build your security, to reach a point where you can enjoy your retirement without constant worry. When those precise figures are out in the open, that sense of security can be eroded by unspoken expectations, or even direct requests for financial assistance that you may not be able or willing to provide. Consider the other side of the coin: judgment. Perhaps you've decided to splurge on a long-awaited dream cruise, or invest in a beautiful piece of art, or even simply enjoy more frequent outings with friends. These are your choices, your hard-earned money, and your freedom to enjoy it. But if your family knows your exact financial standing, these expenditures can suddenly become targets for criticism. Why are you spending so much on that? Shouldn't you be saving more? Are you sure that's a wise investment? These questions, even if posed with genuine concern, can make you feel scrutinized, as if you need to justify every single decision you make with your own money. It chips away at your autonomy and the pure joy of spending your money on what brings you happiness. I once knew a lovely lady. Let's call her Margaret. Margaret, in her innocent desire to be completely transparent with her children, shared the exact figures of her retirement savings, her pension, and even her specific investments. What started as an open, heartfelt conversation quickly spiraled. Suddenly, one child was hinting about needing a down payment for a house. Another was struggling with medical bills and wondered if she could help out. And a third suggested she invest in their sure thing business venture. Margaret found herself constantly fending off requests, feeling guilty when she said no, and even feeling like her own choices about how to spend her hard-earned money were being judged. She had worked her whole life for this financial freedom, only to feel trapped by her own family's expectations. It wasn't that her children were bad people, but knowing the precise figures changed the dynamic. It took her years, and a lot of emotional strain, to reestablish those boundaries and regain her peace of mind. So, what's the actionable advice here when it comes to your finances? Be general, not specific. If a family member asks about your financial situation, a gentle, "I'm comfortable, thank you," or "My finances are well in hand," is perfectly sufficient. You don't owe anyone a detailed ledger. If faced with a direct request for money, it's okay to have a prepared, gentle response, such as, "I've carefully allocated my funds for my own retirement needs, and I'm not able to assist financially in that way. But I'm happy to help in other ways if I can." Or simply, and kindly, "No, I'm not able to do that." When you make a purchase that brings you joy, you don't need to justify it. "I'm enjoying my retirement" is a complete and valid explanation. Your financial independence is a precious asset. It allows you to pursue your interests, maintain your lifestyle, and provides a profound sense of security. Sharing too much can, unintentionally, erode that security and invite unwanted pressure. By holding these financial cards close to your chest, you're not being secretive. You're preserving your peace, your freedom, and surprisingly, the harmony within your family. When there's less to squabble over, there's more room for genuine, unconditional connection. Now, with that deeply personal aspect understood, let's turn our attention to another very sensitive area, one that often brings with it a surprising amount of unsolicited advice and worry: your minor health concerns and anxieties. Now, let's talk about those little aches and pains, the memory blips, or the occasional anxieties that come with living a full life. We're all human, and as we get older, our bodies and minds change. It's natural to want to share these things, especially with those we love. But I'm suggesting that sharing every single minor health niggle or fleeting worry with your family after 65 might be a secret best kept to yourself and your trusted medical professionals. Think about it from their perspective, particularly your adult children. They love you, and they worry. When you mention a slight twinge in your knee or a moment of forgetfulness, their minds often jump to the worst-case scenario. This leads to what I call exaggerated worry. A minor ache in your mind can become a major, debilitating illness in theirs, resulting in constant check-ins, a barrage of questions, and even a feeling of being infantilized. You might find yourself constantly reassuring them, explaining away every cough or sigh, which can be utterly exhausting. And it's not just the worry. Suddenly, everyone becomes an instant doctor. You'll be bombarded with unsolicited advice, a new supplement your niece saw on social media, a miracle diet your son-in-law read about, a specific exercise routine your neighbor swears by. This well-meaning but often conflicting advice only adds to your stress and confusion. It can feel like you're losing your autonomy, constantly under medical surveillance, instead of just being free to live your life. Your doctor is your primary confidant for health issues. They have the professional expertise to understand your symptoms, diagnose accurately, and recommend appropriate treatments. They are the ones who can truly help you manage your health effectively. So, when a family member asks how you are, a simple, "I'm doing well, keeping active," or "feeling good today," is perfectly fine. You don't need to provide a detailed organ recital. There's a clear distinction between a major, life-threatening condition or a significant change that genuinely impacts your daily life, which, of course, you should share, and the routine aches, the mild heartburn, or the fleeting memory lapse. These everyday occurrences are often best discussed with your doctor first. If a family member expresses undue worry about something you've lightly mentioned, gently redirect the conversation. You might say, "I appreciate your concern, but my doctor and I are managing things. I'll let you know if there's anything significant." This sets a boundary without dismissing their love. Think about Robert, a spry 72-year-old. He mentioned a slight twinge in his knee to his daughter over Sunday lunch, a minor discomfort from doing a bit too much gardening. By Tuesday, she had sent him 3 articles on knee replacement surgery, called his doctor's office pretending to be him, and started planning home modifications to accommodate his imagined future immobility. Robert, who just had a minor strain, felt overwhelmed and frustrated. His daughter's intentions were good, but her overreaction robbed him of his peace and made him feel like he was suddenly frail and incapable. It taught him a valuable lesson: keep the everyday aches to himself and his general practitioner. Major issues, absolutely share. But not every little creak or groan. Protecting your peace of mind from this kind of loving but overwhelming attention is vital for your well-being, just as we need to guard our peace regarding our physical well-being. There's another area where our honest, unfiltered thoughts can cause unexpected ripples, especially within the family circle. This brings us to the third secret: your unvarnished opinions on your adult children's or grandchildren's life choices, their marriages, or their parenting styles. As parents and grandparents, we've lived longer, seen more, and naturally, we have wisdom to share. We want the best for our loved ones, but there's a crucial difference between offering gentle guidance when asked and constantly volunteering your strong opinions on their deeply personal decisions. Unless explicitly asked for advice, and even then, deliver it gently and with an open mind. Offering your opinion on deeply personal choices often comes across as criticism or judgment. Your adult children and grandchildren are navigating their own paths, making their own mistakes, and celebrating their own triumphs. When you interject with, "If I were you," or "You should never have done that," it can create resentment, defensiveness, and distance. It transforms your supportive role into one that feels like constant oversight or disapproval. Your role shifts from parent as director to parent as supporter, from grand lecturer to grand listener. This is vital for preserving peace in your relationships. Voicing strong opinions can also draw you into family conflicts. You might become a sounding board for complaints about spouses or partners, or even an unwitting accomplice in family dramas you never intended to be part of. Instead of fostering connection, it can make you a source of friction. And while you might genuinely believe you're helping them, constant criticism, however well-intentioned, can lead to your opinions being dismissed entirely, or worse, you being seen as perpetually negative or interfering. So, what should you do instead? Listen more. Speak less. Be a truly good listener. Offer empathy and support. Phrases like, "That sounds really challenging," or "I'm here for you if you need to talk," are far more powerful and connective than any lecture or judgment. You might not agree with their choices, but you can always respect their right to make them. Your children and grandchildren are adults, and they need the space to learn from their own experiences. Focus on what you admire or appreciate about them. Offer positive reinforcement. Of course, if a choice is genuinely harmful or dangerous, that's a different story. Even then, frame your intervention as concern for their well-being, not as a judgment of their character. "I'm concerned about X because of Y, and I want you to be safe," is more effective than, "You're making a terrible mistake." Consider Arthur, a loving grandfather who constantly voiced his disapproval of his granddaughter's career path in the arts, urging her to pursue something more sensible. His intentions were good. He worried about her financial stability. But instead of inspiring her, his comments made her feel devalued and misunderstood. She started avoiding family gatherings, and their previously close relationship grew strained. Arthur eventually realized that his opinions, however well-meaning, were pushing her away. He learned to bite his tongue, to celebrate her passions, and simply be a loving, supportive presence. It wasn't easy, but the warmth returned to their relationship. It's about letting them navigate their own lives, making their own mistakes and triumphs, knowing you're there to pick them up. not to tell them how they should have walked in the first place. By exercising this thoughtful silence, we cultivate stronger, more respectful relationships, allowing our children and grandchildren the space they need to grow into their own unique selves. Now, let's move on to the fourth secret, one that often touches upon our deep-seated need for independence and personal freedom. Especially as we get older, there's a natural inclination for families to become more protective as parents age. While this comes from a place of genuine love and concern, it can sometimes feel like a subtle erosion of our hard-won independence. This brings us to the fourth secret, the exact specifics of your new, deeply personal pursuits, your solo adventures, or your burgeoning social connections that your family might perceive as risky or unconventional. When you share every detail of a new hobby, a solo trip, or a new friendship, especially one outside your immediate family circle, you might inadvertently invite overprotectiveness. Well-meaning family members might begin to question your judgment or capacity, trying to restrict your activities. Are you sure you should be doing that alone? Isn't that a bit dangerous at your age? Who exactly is this new friend you're spending so much time with? While these questions often stem from a place of love and concern for your safety, they can quickly limit your opportunities for joy, growth, and spontaneity. They might not understand why you're suddenly taking up a pottery class that requires traveling across town, or embarking on a solo cruise, or perhaps even dating someone new after a long period of being single. They might project their own fears or expectations onto your choices, without fully appreciating your desire for personal fulfillment. Constantly having to justify or report on your personal life can feel stifling and remove the joy from these new experiences. You might find yourself editing your stories, downplaying your excitement, or even avoiding mentioning things altogether, just to avoid the ensuing lecture or the cascade of anxious questions. This isn't about being reckless or putting yourself in harm's way. Absolutely not. It's about maintaining a healthy level of privacy that allows you to explore new avenues without needing constant approval or having to assuage endless worries. So, how do you navigate this inform? Don't ask for permission. Instead of saying, "Can I go on this trip?" Try, "I'm going on this trip. I've made all the arrangements, and I'm very excited." For a new friend, "I've met a lovely new friend. We enjoy XYZ together." Focus on the positive outcome and your enjoyment, rather than dwelling on potential risks. "I'm really enjoying my painting class. It's so relaxing and I'm learning so much." Maintain safety first. Of course, share essential safety information, like your itinerary or an emergency contact, with one trusted person, perhaps a friend or a non-family contact, someone who won't then worry endlessly or disseminate the information to the broader family network and emphasize your capability, "I've researched this thoroughly," or "I'm perfectly capable of handling this." Meet Eleanor, 75, who decided to join a hiking group and planned a trip to explore some national parks she'd always dreamed of seeing. Her children, out of love, immediately began listing all the dangers. What if you fall? What if you get lost? Are you sure you're fit enough? Their constant barrage of worries almost made Eleanor cancel her dream trip. She realized she needed to shift her approach. Instead of detailing every steep path or potential challenge, she simply said, "I'm going on a wonderful adventure with my hiking group. I've taken all necessary precautions. I'll be safe, and I'll call you when I get back." She learned that sometimes, the less they know about the how, the more they trust the what, that she's still living a full, vibrant life. This also applies to new friendships or even a new romantic interest. You don't owe anyone a blow-by-blow account. Your personal life, your joy, and your choices are yours to cultivate and protect. Protecting your adventurous spirit and new connections allows you to truly flourish in your later years. And speaking of protecting your future, there's one last secret that, if shared prematurely, can sow seeds of discord and discomfort within your family. This is perhaps the most sensitive of all the precise details of your estate planning decisions while you are very much alive and enjoying your life. It might seem logical to share your will's specifics to ensure everyone is on the same page, to avoid future misunderstandings. But in reality, disclosing who gets what, or how much, can lead to immediate arguments, resentment, or competition among family members. People might start lobbying for specific assets, feeling slighted even before anything has happened, or developing a sense of entitlement. This can create a toxic environment, transforming family gatherings into uncomfortable negotiations or silent resentments. Your children or grandchildren might even start seeing your possessions as already theirs, which can put undue pressure on you while you're still alive to part with items or provide financial assistance. Furthermore, your circumstances and relationships might change. If you've shared specifics and then need to adjust your will, perhaps due to changing financial situations, new family members, or shifts in relationships, it can cause immense friction and accusations of unfairness. Your estate plan is about your wishes for after you're gone. It's not a negotiation or a topic for family debate. While you're still here to enjoy your possessions and your life, this is your legacy, and the specific division of assets is a private matter, best handled by your legal documents and your chosen executor. It is absolutely crucial to have a clear will, a living trust if appropriate, and powers of attorney in place. Discuss these thoroughly with your trusted legal and financial advisors. This ensures your final wishes are respected and that your affairs are in order. However, you don't need to distribute copies of your will or explain every line item to your family. You can inform them broadly, "I have my affairs in order," or "My will is updated and everything is sorted," or "My attorney and executor have all the details." You can also inform the designated executor of their role. The focus should be on the present, enjoying your life, your possessions, and your time with loved ones. If the topic of inheritance arises, gently shift the conversation to your present-day enjoyment of life. "I'm enjoying my possessions now, and when the time comes, everything is taken care of." This isn't about distrust. It's about preserving the joy and harmony of your family in the present moment, rather than letting future inheritance cloud today's relationships. Consider the story of Mary, who, wanting to be completely fair and transparent, called her 3 adult children together and laid out her will, piece by piece, explaining every decision. She thought transparency would prevent future arguments. Instead, it ignited them. Her eldest felt she deserved the family home because she lived closest. Her son felt he should get a larger share due to perceived past financial contributions. The youngest felt slighted about a specific heirloom. Mary spent her remaining years fielding complaints, dealing with passive aggression, and watching her children become rivals for her things, rather than cherishing their time with her. It was heartbreaking. She wished she had simply said, "I've got my estate planning sorted, and my attorney has all the details. We can talk about happier things." This secret, kept private, is truly about preserving the emotional well-being of your family while you're still here. So, there you have them, the 5 secrets that, when guarded wisely, can truly safeguard your peace, your independence, and your relationships after 65. We've talked about keeping your precise financial details to yourself, managing your minor health concerns with your doctor rather than broadcasting them, holding back on unfiltered opinions about your adult children's life choices, navigating your new adventures and relationships with a degree of healthy privacy, and finally, keeping the specific details of your estate plan private until the time is right. Remember, this isn't about being secretive or deceptive. It's about setting smart, loving boundaries. Boundaries that allow you to live your best, most authentic life without unnecessary worry or pressure from those you love. It's about cultivating respect for your autonomy and ensuring your golden years are truly golden, filled with peace, joy, and genuine connection. Small changes in how you communicate can make a monumental difference to your peace of mind and the quality of your family relationships. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts on this. Have you ever found yourself in similar situations? What secrets have you learned to keep for your own peace of mind and to protect your family harmony? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your wisdom could truly help someone else navigating these waters. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We're here to share more practical, encouraging advice to help you thrive in every stage of life. Thank you for joining me on this important conversation. Go out there and embrace your independence, cherish your loved ones, and live your best life at every age. You've earned this peace, this freedom, and this joy.